Hello, Los Angeles. Hello, fans of Major League Soccer. Hello, lovers of the black and gold. And of course, hello to the millions
and millions
of defenders of the bank listeners. This is One More Sleep, the final. One more sleep before the final of the League's Cup. In less than 24 hours, LAFC competes in yet another final and will square off against a team that has been their kryptonite as of late, the Columbus Crew. This is going to be a grudge match, and while some may feel this isn't about revenge, I'm going to disagree and say it is very much about not only getting revenge, but proving a point. More on that in just a bit, but first, as always, introductions are in order. My name is Christian Philemon, the platinum-haired, or platinum-tipped these days, Flamingo. And joining me, subbing in for the mouth of the South Bay, J.R. Liebert, the Scarf. It's friend of the pod. I give you LAFC Laff himself, Mr. Chris Lafferty.
In the spirit of the finals, let me just say to all you millions out there, finally, LAFC is going back to Columbus for the finals. We're going to face off against our familiar foes from last year's MLS Cup final, only this time in the League's Cup final. And I've got a feeling, folks, that we're going to take them to the SmackDown Hotel, baby.
Loving the WWE promos without a doubt. Scarf, we got to let y'all know real quick. It's important to note why Scarf isn't with us tonight, defenders. It's very important. He called me around 4 p.m. today to let me know that he's going to a wedding. And not just any wedding, but a themed wedding. A Star Wars themed wedding. I didn't believe it myself, folks, but he sent a photo. And there's the proof. There's a photo of the Scarf dressed in what seems to be a Chewbacca Wookiee style costume. He doesn't have the hoodie on. I've been asking him to send us the full-length body photo of this, but I don't have it as of yet. So, he's got that going on. And, Laff and I got to thinking, right? And, it turns out, right, Laff? It turns out, why should Scarf have all the fun? Hey, hang on one second. Hang on one second. I give you Darth Philly and Bobo Laff. How's about that? Scarf, you're not the only person who gets to be Star Wars'd out today, buddy.
Now, I got to ask, was that the part of the costume, or was that his seatbelt in the car? I couldn't see.
I mean, it looks like a Chewbacca, utility-style Wookiee belt or something of that nature. I can't quite tell. But yes, if you're just tuning in right now, defenders, LAFC Laff is subbing in because Scarf went to a Star Wars-themed wedding. So this was his black tie affair, and, well, I've got the props. Why not have some fun with it? I think this is fun. I think, Laff, you and I are a little more convincing in our attire than our good friend the Scarf is.
It's true. I think, we hear the march of the match is a lot of things that teams do before games, but we're doing the Imperial March to the match for tomorrow's game, I think.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, I got to take this thing off right now because it's not only hard to breathe as Vader, it's hard to see as Vader. Good gosh. All right, folks, MLS kicked back off again real quick just to let y'all know. And, well, we should have had a match today against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Obviously, that got rescheduled to October. So for anybody who made the trip to Vancouver, enjoy it. The Pacific Northwest is a beautiful place to be. Now, all jokes aside, we were really just trying to break the ice because, Laff, I'll admit, I've got a bit of anxiety going into tomorrow. I know we've already clinched the CONCACAF Champions Cup, but I got the anxieties. Do you's got the anxieties?
You and me both, brother. I think it's warranted. I've got a lot of optimism. I've got a lot of faith, and I believe in this club a lot more than I did last year's team, and that's not a knock on them. Last year was a fantastic team. I've got a lot more faith in this year's club than I did then, but I'm still nervous because we still have to go out and prove it no matter what we think on paper, no matter what we may feel in our hearts. it's not over until that 90 plus. It's not official. So we still got to wait and see. And look, I'm on pins and needles before almost every game. So a game with the stakes as high as this, of course, I'm going to be nervous too. I don't blame you one bit.
We're at yet another Cup final, and as we know, we haven't done very well upon making it to the finals. But as the great Giorgio Chiellini told us at Lower.com Field last year after the MLS Cup final, it is better to be in a final and competing for a final, well then, to not. All right, let's get into some facts first. This will be the 6th time that these two sides will meet. And while LAFC leads the overall series by 3-2, it's really been about the Columbus Crew as of late, especially considering the most recent dominating performance where they absolutely shattered LAFC at BMO by a score of 5-1 in front of the home crowd. They gave us our worst loss in club history at home, defenders, during a stretch where we were dominating opponents not only at home, but on the road. Now, how the Crew got here? Well, it's simple. Because they won the MLS Cup final last year against us, they didn't have to compete in the group stages like we did. So they automatically get a bye. So moving in, they go right to the round of 32, where they absolutely whooped up on Sporting Kansas City, beating them by a score of 4-0. That moved them into the Sweet 16, where the Columbus Crew went on to take on Miami. They beat them 3-2. Quarterfinals was a little more dodgy for them as they went to a 1-1 draw and then beat New York City Football Club in penalty kicks. And, of course, the semifinals against the Philadelphia Union. They scored first. The Union equalized courtesy of Daniel Gazdag. And then, well, Diego Rossi had himself a brace. The kid's been on fire. He's got 6 goals in the 4 games, 3 braces. It's kind of nuts. The performance, Laff, pretty uncanny over these past couple of matches.
It really has. But I got to say, one thing is, as a fan, that I really appreciate is we've gotten to have the unique and exciting matchups against such foes that we don't often get to see, like Vancouver and Seattle and Austin and San Jose. So while they've had a really interesting road to get to this point, we've had a really exciting and unique one. There was a little bit of sarcasm in there, if you couldn't tell.
This is the way.
So, yes, we did have to go through the group stages because we did not win the Cup final last year like they did, so we didn't get that bye. However, we proved to have some success there, and although we technically lost that game in penalty kicks against Vancouver, what it did was show us that we're never out of the game at any point, though. We played the game with our backup goalkeeper in at the time, Abraham Romero, now a member of the Columbus Crew. And we fought back from being 2 goals down to take it all the way to penalty kicks, scoring those last 2 goals in with like less than 10 minutes to go. I forgot the exact times, but somewhere in the 80th minutes and then in stoppage. So I think that was a good sign, a little bit of foreshadowing for what things were to come, was that we are never out of it at any point. And the rest of the run to get to this point kind of was just a takeoff from that game against Vancouver, and really showing that we've got the offensive prowess and we've got the tenacity to hang in there with anybody.
100%. And look, going back to the Crew, a couple other interesting facts, dude. They're the first MLS club to reach 3 finals in 9 months and only the 6th to do so in a 12-month span. They beat us in the MLS Cup final back in December of 2023. They competed against Pachuca June of 2024, and had it not been for some odd sickness that the entire team contracted, they might have been able to give Pachuca more of a game. And, of course, going into tomorrow's game at Lower.com Field, they've got the home field advantage because they obviously won the MLS Cup last year. So that's 3 finals. This is a team that's constructed very well, coached very well by Wilfred Nancy. Guy's done tremendous things. This could arguably go down as one of the best clubs in MLS, period. But they're also going to be competing against potentially one of the best clubs in MLS, period. So this isn't a David versus a Goliath match. This truly is a Goliath versus Goliath match. And while in his interview, Ilie Sanchez said that we're the underdog, I'm going to kind of agree with him, considering the fact that we are going into hostile territory against a team that has been really dominating against us as of late.
I'm going to detract from you on that one, my friend. See, I love what Ilie said in his press conference, and I don't look at us as underdogs either. See, I think we deserve to be in this just as much as Columbus does, and I think we're two titans meeting in a clash. See, we're not these, scared little pups like trying to go up against the big dogs in this league. I think that we're a team that knows our worth. We're a team that we know what we're capable of. We know our value, and honestly, Ilie does as well. And if he, our captain, our leader, is taking that approach, I love that that's the type of attitude that our leader has going into this. And I think that with a captain like that saying it, our team's going to follow. And with a team following that confidence, I think no matter what has happened between us and Columbus in the past, I feel really good about our mindset going into this game.
Mindset, no doubt. And we do have all our players available. Timothy Tillman was running at the end of the game last week against the Colorado Rapids. So nobody is out. Kike Oliveira should still be playing. There's a question in the chat in regards to Denis Bouanga, the rumor about him going to America. Look, again, we see BS rumors all the time during silly season. And a lot of it could be a wide variety of things. Vince LaRosa, our good friend Vince LaRosa, said it best himself. Sometimes it could be what it is, a rumor that might actually be true. Another one could be the fact that, well, somebody's just throwing information in there just to kind of gauge a vibe or to try to boost market value, things of that nature. But yes, Club America might have expressed interest in Denis Bouanga. Doesn't mean they're going to get him. I've expressed interest in having Denis Bouanga join the Empire Strikers in the Major Arena Soccer League, but that doesn't mean they're going to get him.
I've also expressed interest in just like hanging out with Denis Bouanga, and so far I've never even met the guy. So these are all just rumors, all just hearsay. I do want to go back, though. I know you put it up there. Who asked? I'm looking in the chat here. Thanks to everyone in the chat. First, Louis G. Yeah, I got a chair this time. This is great. I'm moving on up in the Defenders of the Bank hierarchy. I get a seat. Most people just want a seat at the table. I just want a seat. That's all. So a big hello, though, to our good friend Heather. Heather's in the chat. She told me earlier, she said, I'm going to be in the chat. Just want to say hi and a big thanks again. Heather and Scarf and I, Heather so graciously invited us a couple of weeks ago to join her in her suite that she had for the Foo Fighters concert. So thanks again, Heather, for all the hospitality. I want to just shout you out again. I know Scarf did, but got to say it was an awesome time. And again, just a testament to all the great people you meet at LAFC, being a fan, and just happy to be part of the LAFC family with you. It was awesome.
100%. We got David Day in the chat going Mbappe to LAFC by 2028. Wouldn't that be something? Truly the Los Angeles French club rather than football club. And David Day also says, we're a $1 billion club, are we not? Well, that's what Forbes seems to think. We're the first MLS club to crack that. But just because we're supposedly a $1 billion club doesn't mean we're going to shell out all that money on any given player. Keep in mind, we're still strapped by the rules of Major League Soccer with the ridiculousness of a certain amount of designated players, targeted allocation money, which is geared towards international players to buy down the salary caps, general allocation money, so on and so forth. If they're looking potentially for Antoine Griezmann, that caps us up, Defenders. Obviously, if they look to sell somebody else, if Denis Bouanga ends up going to Club America, that opens some stuff up. But for now, let's hold back because we do have a full squad going into Columbus to take on the Crew. So let's get into things. You, Lafferty, will be now known as Scarf as far as the slides are concerned, because I just realized that while I put your notes up there, I didn't change Scarf's name. So let's put that up. You're going to be starting things. I really wish producer Panda was here. She's at the Kane Brown concert along with my mother-in-law. Hopefully I could get this right.
While you're looking for that real quick, I just want to say in the chat, BME put that they'll be in Mexico City tomorrow. I don't know if you're down there for the marathon, but speaking of Mexico City and maybe linking up with people, message the running club and see. We've got 2 members of the Black and Gold Running Club running in the Mexico City Marathon tomorrow. So BME, if you're out there rooting for running the marathon, best of luck to you. If you're out there, if you're not running, hey, go check out the marathon and cheer on some Black and Gold Running Club members out there. My friends Giovanni Beltran and Jesse Cassio, best of luck to you guys in the marathon in Mexico City tomorrow.
Absolutely. David Day says MLS only spends 26% of revenue on players' salary. I'd love for you to share with me where you read that. Seems like an interesting read if those numbers are in fact accurate. All right, let's start with the players to watch. And while these aren't Scarf's players to watch, they're Lafferty's players to watch. So what you got, Chris?
Well, we know Scarf is a teacher, so he can't be here. I'm the substitute teacher, the substitute Scarf. Look, for Columbus, I've got Diego Rossi, not just because of my fond memories of him, and he's really like the only guy I know on Columbus. I don't really pay attention to them much. And really, what in the state of Ohio is notable anyway? I don't know. But Diego Rossi, I picked as my player to watch. Fired. Not only because of his connection to LAFC, but also because in this competition, he and Denny Bouanga are neck and neck for the Golden Boot races. Now, look, we've seen Diego Rossi win a Golden Boot in the league in 2020, and now he's looking to do it again in the League's Cup. So, but you have a scorching hot Denny Bouanga right up there with him. So that's going to be an interesting matchup to see how the offense plays in to allowing Diego Rossi to maybe hit that target. And let's see, though, hopefully Denis Bouanga can come out on top of that race. For our guys, I picked Maxime Chenot for a couple of reasons. Well, the first time I was on the show with you previewing the St. Louis match, I picked Maxime Chenot, and then we kind of went off from there. So it was good luck. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick him again, and things will keep on going. But seriously, though, Maxime Chenot, I often say he's understated, but not overrated. You know, he's one of those guys who, understated and underrated. He's one of those guys who, for us, has been constantly just like a bulldog out there on defense. He really adds a ferocity that I don't think we've seen in a player on our defense in a long time. The guy, no matter how long you have him in there, he is going to track down anybody he's playing. Doesn't matter about the speed of the other or the other skill sets of whatever offensive player he's going up against. He's going to do his very best and be a real force in helping Hugo Lloris keep that clean sheet. I think Maxime Chenot is going to be a big factor in keeping Diego Rossi out of the Golden Boot contention tomorrow afternoon, because our defense is going to be stout. And I really think a player like Maxime Chenot, who doesn't get a lot of the attention, is going to be somebody who really makes the difference for us.
Yeah, no doubt. And he's going to have to step up because there's a contingent of players on the Columbus Crew that can hurt you. It's not just Diego Rossi. I'll get into my player to watch in just a second. But like you said, Chris, he is in that Golden Boot conversation in the League's Cup along with Denny Bouanga, and he's got 3 games where he's had a brace. There's only 1 game that he's competed in where he hasn't scored. He's killing it. But it's not only that, bro. It's in his last 11 matches across all competition, he's got 11 goals and 16 goal contributions. He is literally on fire. It's not this NBA jam. He's heating up. The dude's en fuego. So we're going to have to neutralize him, and it's kind of sucks seeing him be that successful. Look around the league. I mean, the Golden Boot leader right now in MLS is Chicho Arango. I don't know if Christian Benteke scored today. I don't know if Chicho scored another one. But coming into today, you got a former LAFC player on top of the Golden Boot race. You got another former LAFC player in the conversation for the Golden Boot race at a tournament. It's just LAFC players. LAFC players everywhere, whether they're on our team or not. Now, my players to watch, the low-hanging fruit, as I like to go. For Columbus, their stone cold killing assassin, their heavyweight, the guy that really makes them utterly exciting as all hell to watch. Not only just Diego Rossi and a former LAFC player, Christian Ramirez, Cucho Hernandez has really been the difference maker for this club. The guy is unbelievable. Now, he's only got 2 goals and 2 assists in this League's Cup tournament, but you can't discount him. He's a threat all the time. Whether he is in the box or not, he's going to attract attention. People are going to flock to him. When he has the ball, people are going to swarm in on him, and that obviously opens up space in the box for him to distribute to some of his other teammates who we know are clinical at finishing as well. Cucho can score. Rossi can score. Christian Ramirez can score. They have a plethora of tools, but it all starts with Cucho. He is downright deadly. And of course, this one's a no-brainer. Denis mother-frickin' Bowanga. How could you not give this man his flowers? And by the way, when did we start giving people flowers? When's the statement come through? I don't even like giving my wife flowers. Nothing says I love you more than something that dies in 3 days. That's my opinion. Give this man a drink. That I don't know, forget it. But anyway, in 6 games, he's got 6 goals and 3 assists over the course of the League's Cup. I don't even want to tell you what his stats are since he's joined LAFC. They're downright crazy ass disgusting. They're like you're playing on FIFA on easy mode. He's just a walking video game anytime he gets in there. He's a sprinter. He's distributing the ball. He is the reason why you are going to tune into LAFC, because he is a human highlight reel on his own right. That being said, let's move along the keys to the game, starting with Chris Lafferty.
There was a wonderful movie in the early 2000s called Old School. Starring in that movie was a wonderful actor named Will Ferrell.
I've heard of him.
Will Ferrell is also a wonderful team owner. In that, his character, Frank the Tank, had one of the greatest lines in cinematic history.
Oh, boy.
We gotta keep our composure. We gotta keep our composure. We talked about the 5-1 butt whooping.
I really thought you were going to say we're going streaking.
We're going through the quad.
Bring your green hat. I really thought that's where you were going with this.
Look, back earlier, before Leagues Cup and the break and everything, Columbus really put a dart in our neck. Going back to old school.
Dart in our neck. Now you're giving me images of Ace Ventura when nature calls. Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee tuna.
Well, here I am losing my composure, trying to get to my point about keeping composure. Look, we got punched in the mouth against Columbus when they came to play us back in, what was that, June, July? And I think that we kind of went into it with the sense of, oh, this is our revenge. This is the 2023 Cup rematch. No, it wasn't. You can't play for last year's Cup. It's not like boxing where you beat them and you get their title and all of a sudden it's yours again. No, that's theirs. It's a new year. And we went into it, I think, maybe looking to get some sort of revenge from days gone by, which we just can't get. And instead, what happened was they took it to us. And in that match, I think it was just a snowball effect where they kind of got going. We just were on our heels and we just couldn't get things moving. And they just kept piling on. And we kind of looked a little disjointed. And I think that was a little bit of the case in the finals last year as well. So to go up against this team with another opportunity, I think we talked about the mindset that Ilie has kind of presented for us earlier. We talked about that. And I think that's the shift that we need, is that, okay, this is not the team that we played in the past. We're not the team that went up against them in the past. We are a different team, a different chemistry. We have different leaders. We have different players even from the last time that we went up against Columbus at home. I think we just totally erase our minds from what happened before. Don't worry about revenge, that you can't get back something from a game in the past. You can only get something in the future and in the present, which is tomorrow. I think that what we have to do tomorrow is not let the past dictate how we play or how we go into this game. And no matter what happens, look, we know that Columbus is going to be a dynamic team. They're going to have a tremendously difficult back line that we can't get through, and their offense is going to be potent. And I think that, yes, they're going to have their chances. They're going to get their goals. They're going to score, and they're going to look like they belong there as well. You can't let them make it so that they're the only ones who look like they belong. And in order to do that, you've got to stay up there in the fight with them, because it's going to be a fight, and you can't just, once you get hit in the mouth, you got to hit back. I think last time we just didn't hit back, and tomorrow we will. So we got to keep our composure when things start to not go our way. and turn it so that they start 2. And that's the type of team that we've seen in Leagues Cup, is that if things aren't going our way, we come back. And that's what we were missing the last couple of times we played Columbus. And I think Columbus has to realize that with their 5-1 win over us, they didn't take it to us as much as they awoke something in us, and they created a monster. They're getting a brand new LAFC tomorrow, one that they've never seen the likes of yet.
No doubt about that. Yes, the maintaining composure thing, especially on the road in hostile territory, is key to this. And part of me, not part of me, I firmly believe in that as well. First and foremost, to me, we need to contain. And what I mean by contain, we need to contain their trio of goal-scoring threats. In that, once again, of Cucho, in that, again, Rossi, in that, Christian Ramirez. Over the course of the regular season, these 3 players alone have contributed to 61%, nearly 62% of Columbus's offense. 29 goals between these 3 players over the games coming into the Leagues Cup. This is an offense that's primarily won or spun by these guys. We need to keep an eye out on them. In the game that we lost to them earlier in July, when we got the crap kicked out of us, they very much were involved offensively. And so we need to keep a vigilant eye on all 3 of these players. And as the last couple of games have gone for LAFC, they've allowed Columbus to maintain the vast majority of possession within the course of the game. So what they're going to need to do, if that goes with the same exact strategy, we're going to need to capitalize on our opportunities. If they're going to hold the ball and we're going to get a couple of cracks on goal, then we absolutely need to be clinical and finish. We can't allow them to get on the score sheet first. We can't allow ourselves to play from behind, in particular in hostile territory like a lower.com field. They're going to be hungry to win a cup. They're going to be confident. In fact, they're going to probably be a little more confident than we are coming into tomorrow, because they do feel personally like they have the edge on us based on the fact that they've not only beaten us in a final in their own house, but they're a team that absolutely decimated us in our home, which rarely ever happens. So if we can contain their trio of devastating players and, of course, capitalize in the moments that we get opportunities, I think we have a damn good shot at this game. And that being said, let's go into the score predictions, starting with Mr. Chris Lafferty.
I ripped this score completely from Max Bredos's mouth. And here's why. I listened to him, and he had an interview on the local Fox affiliate, and they asked his opinion on who wins the game. And Max Bredos, the wonderful Max Bredos, voice of LAFC, he predicted 2-2, and LAFC wins on penalty kicks. And I don't think that's far off. And I started thinking about it. What would my score prediction be? I really have to agree. I think that both teams defensively are going to give each other a matchup like they've never seen before. But offensively, they're both going to come with tremendous firepower like they have all Leagues Cup. And I think that both teams are going to get their opportunities, and both teams are going to capitalize on their opportunities. But it's just going to be so even. And at the end, it's going to come down to penalties. And we talked about the last match that we went into penalties against Vancouver. We had our backup at the time, Abraham Romero, in there, but we don't have him anymore. He's on the crew. We've got Hugo Lloris in there, and I really have a lot of faith in Lloris, both all throughout the game, and if it comes down to a penalty kick situation. So I believe that we'll hit the 90-minute mark, tied at 2. I think that seems like a fair amount of goal predictions for both teams. And I think that in penalties, I'd give the benefit to our big guy, Hugo Lloris.
Ruben in the chat asks, what's Hello Kitty's score prediction? I'm going to keep that there so I can wake her up so she could give us a little bit of a score prediction. She did have a message for the Columbus crew in our last episode of Defenders of the Bank. I believe she firmly said that they could kiss her furry little butt. I didn't listen to Max's score prediction. And normally I listen to a lot of things Max says. Max and I, we've become pretty good friends since that 2016 season, but I will agree with him on this. Although I don't think it's going to be 2-2 going into penalty kicks. I actually think it's going to be 1-1. I don't think it's going to be a very high scoring game. I think they'll strike first, we'll equalize, and it'll just be a very hard fought game going in to penalty kicks. And I do think that we are going to squeak this out. This is me, yes, being a homer. I don't understand why that's such a bad thing at the end of the day. We do love our club. Whoever depicted, oh, he's such a homer, he just thinks his team is this. These are stupid, idiotic terms made up by people that are, well, stupid and idiotic. Of course we're homers. I'm spending my free time creating an LAFC podcast and talking about it. Of course I'm going to be a homer. At the same time, I'm positive and I believe in my club. The Crew are a tough team. No question the Crew are a tough team. But history, while it does have a tendency to repeat itself, doesn't necessarily have to repeat itself. In particular, if a team learns from their mistakes. At this point, we've learned from our mistakes. Steve's learned from his mistakes. You can argue that Nancy outcoached him in the last 2 games. But there is no losing at the end of the day if learning comes as a result. And I do firmly believe that Steve has learned his lesson in the last 2 encounters against the Crew. That being said, we're going to go deadlocked, and we do have the better keeper. World-class, World Cup winning, not Champions League winning with Tottenham because their trophy case is rather empty. But I would rather have Hugo Lloris in that scenario than 99% of goalkeepers in Major League Soccer. So we get down to the PK scenario. As long as our boys convert, we're winning this. That's my prediction. And we hoist our 2nd ever trophy. I know the CONCACAF Champions Cup slipped within our hands. The MLS Cup slipped within our hands. We got a couple of supporter shields, but this is going to be another great cup to add to our collection. Our trophy case, which whenever it's going to get built, is going to contain this too. That's my thought.
I think that there's one cup that I know I'm going to raise tonight. It's not what you're thinking. But you were talking about flowers and how you don't like them earlier, but I got in this cup. I got some flowers, so I wanted to just give them to you, Philly. Thank you so much for having me on and having the opportunity to talk about this. Now, that's not a goodbye yet. I just was looking for any opportunity to bring these out since I know you hate flowers so much for some reason. I don't know.
Again, nothing says I love you quite like something that dies within a couple of days. Do they look pretty when you dry them out? They're going to end up in the trash anyway. You want to give somebody that says, I love you, give them an experience. Flowers die, whatever. Now, I got to address Ruben's score prediction. Hello, Kitty. What do you think?
I say we put the shebang bang on the Columbus Crew. We don't even go into PKs. LAFC wins by a score of 3-2. And as I said, after the Colorado Rapids episode, they can kiss my furry little butt. I am wearing a number 19 on the back of my kit. And while it might be because this was a promotional item given in 2019, it was a future prediction that number 19, Matty Bogusz, is going to score in the game. So once again, Columbus, kiss my furry little Hello Kitty butt.
Nothing gives me more joy than seeing the look of frustration right now on Chris Lafferty's face. This is gold. Ruben, you made my day by just requesting the presence of Hello Kitty.
I wish Hello Kitty lasted as long as your flowers do.
Hello Kitty's lasted longer than the both of us have. Hello Kitty is 50, my friend. Neither of us are there, although I'm a lot closer to that than you are.
Although I will say the number 19 is significant to me too, because that was the year that I moved to LA and discovered LAFC and became a fan.
Well, there you go. There you go. So there is
I still
some
don't
good.
like Hello Kitty either. I like Hello Kitty. I just don't like.
All right, I'll tell you what. What do you recall what her score prediction was?
No, I did a really good job of tuning it out.
3-2 was Hello Kitty's score prediction. So if Hello Kitty is right, all right, let's make a friendly little wager, and I'm doing this on behalf of Hello Kitty. If Hello Kitty is correct and LAFC does win 3-2, and I don't mean in penalty kicks, I mean we win in regulation 3-2, you are going to take a photo with Hello Kitty and the biggest smile on your face. Deal?
That's a deal, my friend. I mean, look, if we win 3-2, I will take a picture and I will give Hello Kitty a kiss at that point. Because if it means we're hosting a trophy, I'm all for it, and I will be a changed man. I guarantee it. And you know what? If if that comes with me having a lighter heart and accepting Hello Kitty into my life, and we have a trophy to go with it, hey, all right, I'll take it.
Get ready to pucker up, Mr. Chris Lafferty. I'm predicting something good, and if I am correct, not only will we be lifelong friends, I am going to get myself a lottery ticket. And that's the bottom line because HK says so.
Some point, maybe when I'm done going through puberty, I won't make Hello Kitty sound like you, Virginia Doubtfire. But that's going to be for another podcast. All right. Laff, any last thoughts before we let the millions
And millions
go and enjoy their Saturday night?
I sure do. I've got a couple things I want to bring up. First,
a couple. Okay.
Yeah, a couple. The first is related to the aforementioned Black and Gold Running Club. So tomorrow we have two runners, members of our club, Giovanni and Jesse, both running in the Mexico City Marathon, which is going to be an incredible feat. For Giovanni, this is his 6th consecutive time running the marathon in Mexico City. I want to just give my best wishes to both of them. They're both awesome guys, awesome members of the running club, super positive and very supportive. So I just want to give my best to both of those guys running it down there. Also, today was our August meetup for the Black and Gold Running Club. Well, I couldn't be there. We met up in Santa Monica, and we did an 8.24. They did an 8.24 mile run today in honor of Kobe Bryant, being Kobe Bryant Day, 8/24. So we had a good turnout for that, and all members of our club paid tribute to the late Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna Bryant, and they had a special commemorative pins made up for them. So I just want to say a good job, great job running and honoring everybody today from the Black and Gold Running Club. But also this Wednesday, which is also going to be the date of our Open Cup game. The Black and Gold Running Club, a club that I'm very proud to be a member of, have run the marathon representing, have run many, many miles and done many meetups with, have done a lot of charity work with, a club that I'm really proud to be a part of. We're celebrating our 5th anniversary this coming Wednesday. So a big shout out to everybody who's been a member of the club. I think this is a testament. 5 years is an incredible feat, and it's really a testament to both the initiative of Neil Tyner, our captain, and just all of the members, all the passion that Neil and every member brings to the club, everybody who participates. But not only that, I think more so the unprecedented support that we get from the club, namely Jimmy Lopez and Pat Aviles, just how much they've done for us. You don't see this with professional sports teams. They don't latch on to fans who want to be involved. I don't think you ever get to meet people from, professional sports organizations when you want to be involved. They just are grateful for the free promotion you give them. LAFC has been nothing but kind and giving back to us just as much energy as we've given back to them. So I want to just say a thank you to everybody at the club who's helped us, and just every member of the club. Congratulations on a great 5 years. My last note I want to say going into Columbus is, this is a unique opportunity for, I think, not only this team, but also for MLS. The question was raised earlier in the week and even earlier in the pod by you. Are these the best teams in league history? I've got to say, if you look at it, the league is the strongest it's ever been. And just the sheer number of finals and titles that both of these two teams have won recently, I really think you got to say that these are the two best teams in MLS history going at it. A rivalry has been formed, but you know what's odd? It's not like a rivalry like we have with Carson down the road. I don't hate Columbus. I think the Crew has been an integral part of the league's health and the growth of it. And they wear the 96 on their crest, not as a sign of insecurity like another team we know, but a sign of pride. When the league was looking to grow and was really at a crossroads, they were the first ones to have a soccer-specific stadium for themselves. That really helped make the league legitimate. And I got to say, as a fan, what I really respect is when they were at the team was at a crossroads, and the greedy owner wanted to take it and move it to a booming new market in Austin, Texas. The team fought back to keep their team. And you know what? They won. And I really respect them for that. And they've been rewarded with a really successful team in the last few years, with the 2020 winning the cup, them, and the 2023 cup as well. So I really respect the Crew. And however, that's all the flowers I'm going to give them. And my love for them has died more quicker than those flowers have, because tomorrow they're going to see that their success at our expense has not really foretold anything for the future, but like I said earlier, has awoken a beast and really has made a monster in LAFC that they're not going to know what hit them come tomorrow when we go into their house. And then we take it to them for 90 plus minutes. And at the end, we're the ones hoisting the League's Cup trophy. And let me just say, if it is Kike Oliveira's last game with us, has been predicted, I think we're going to give him a good send-off too, because this team is really gelling. This team has chemistry, and this team has love for each other. Whether you're coming or going, whether you're brand new or you're on your way out or you've been here the whole time, we really love each other. We love the team. The team is gelling, and we're going to be firing on all cylinders. And I think no matter what, tomorrow we're seeing an LAFC that is unlike anything we've ever seen before, better than years past, the best we've ever been.
I like it. Very well said. And definitely stay tuned for the Kike Oliveira saga, because, well, that's all I'll say about that. The Crew almost were non-existent. So for those of you that are unaware, I'm not going to spend more time than when we really have done, 42 minutes into this. Go Google the thing called Save the Crew. There's a couple episodes up on YouTube. Copa 90 put something out. They were a club that almost went bye-bye. And yeah, I don't hate them either. And we could give them the flowers all we want. But that being said, I want to whoop that ass tomorrow. I want their little version of black and yellow. I want to turn them black and blue. So no more flowers for these guys. At this point, they're the enemy. I only see red until we turn them black and blue. So let's whoop that ass. That being the case, couple of watch parties going on tomorrow. The official LAFC watch party is going to be going on at the Fields LA and Level Up. Doors open at 3:30 p.m. There's paid parking in blue lot only. And I burped, excuse me. So that's where you'll probably find me, Scarf, and so on and so forth. I know the Offsiders are doing a watch party. Looks like they're doing it at Kings Row in Pasadena. So if you're around there, check that out. They're going to be there 4:15. Pride Republic is doing something at High Tops, 714 North Vermont, Los Angeles, California, of course. And if you're out in the Inland Empire, shout out to our guys over at Rowdy's, our buddy John, just like Chris Laverty, big Fulham fans. They'll be doing a watch party there. If there are any other ones out there that I'm unaware of, any in San Diego? That's a good question.
Yes, I believe at the Tap Room in North Park. Check out LAFC SD on Instagram. They're the ones who I saw them post earlier in the week about a watch party. So yeah, be on the lookout for watch parties in San Diego, and we can always post something on Instagram later about what they have. But yeah, keep an eye out for them. And
you're right. Tap Room. Yeah, in San Diego, Tap Room Beer Co. in North Park. They'll be hosting it as well. All right, that being the case, it's about 45 minutes. You got the rest of your Sunday to hang out. Appreciate y'all taking the time to hang out with me and Laff. As I mentioned, Scarf is at a Star Wars-themed wedding wearing a Chewbacca costume, so I think it's only fitting that Lafferty and I sign off in character. So Laff, or should I say Boba Laff? On behalf of Boba Laff and Darth Philly, may the Force be with LAFC, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.